Good evening, Mel.
Good evening.
Mel, shall we start with the County Cup success on Tuesday?
Well, 11 goals, you mean? Yeah, it was. It was a great game. I mean, we went into it against Ware, who were a good side, local derby. I was informed. We needed to rest certain players. We needed other players to get minutes, and there was one or two younger trialists that I wanted to have a look at, and we managed to achieve all that. Scored 7 goals, which was really pleasing. I was very disappointed with the nature of the 3 goals we conceded second half, because they were really poor. Things that we haven't been doing recently. We just slipped back into some bad habits, which I reminded the players afterwards. But overall, I thought a great performance. Another great game for the local and the neutral. Basically, lots of goals, lots of excitement, and 6 penalties, which is
I was going to ask
my first ever. I said to the referee,
have you ever been involved in a match with 6?
I mean, we might as well just gone straight to penalties and not bothered with the game, and just had penalties against each other. But no, it was a great game, great performance. I got out of it what I wanted. I was very pleased with the lads' performance, their application, and the trialists did well. The new signing, DeQuan, did really well. Had a great first game for us. So he'll be one that will be pushing hard now to get into the team, which is what we need.
That's great. With league form picking up as well, 3 wins, 2 draws, and only a loss to the league leaders in the last 6. And the last 2 matches away from home, 2-2 at Lewis. How did you see that?
Well, I think the Lewis game was off the back of a 4-4 draw the week before, where we played a team that were very good at what they did, and had a very good number 9 who caused us all sorts of problems early on. But to come away with a 4-4 draw against Paper Mills, I thought was an excellent result. Particularly when you miss a penalty in the last minute, but then score from the resulting corner, just shows how far as a group of players they've come. That even then they didn't feel for 1 minute that they were going to lose the game. We then went to Lewis, as you said, and we managed to get a 2-2. And again, what was really pleasing with that was, one, we played extremely well again against a very good team, another very good team who were top of the table for a long period early in the season. And we scored the equaliser with 2 minutes to go, and my player sprinted, got the ball out the net and ran back and put it on the centre spot to try and get the winner. Again, that shows the mentality. We weren't happy with the 2-2 draw away. We wanted to win that. We certainly didn't deserve to lose, and the reality was they nicked a point. In reality, I know they scored late and they thought they'd won the game. People do, but the game's 95 minutes. Again, I said to the players afterwards, whether you score in the first minute or the last minute, the game is 95 minutes. You've got to concentrate for 95 minutes. Scoring the 90th minute doesn't mean you've won the game. Conceding the 90th minute doesn't mean you've lost the game. So the team have come on in leaps and bounds, just their mentality. So really pleasing results. But I think the performances are what have pleased me most. And hopefully, I believe the fans are enjoying it as much.
Well, the ones that were at Folkestone certainly did.
Yeah, well, the Folkestone game was a fantastic performance. My favourite win recently, or my favourite performance recently, is definitely away at Wingate. 1-0 was a proper away performance, where basically, again, it's a very good team going for the playoffs. Much bigger budget than us, some really good players in their team. They played some really good football, but we absolutely matched them stride for stride. And as the game got on, I felt we would win, and I ended up bringing 2 strikers on to try and win the game, and they combined to get us the winner. So that was a really pleasing one. We went to Folkestone, and again, another really good side. I mean, they just signed a very experienced striker,
packed full of experience and quality.
Packed full of quality. I mean, they're real quality. But again, as we had a plan, the players executed it. And you've got to give the players credit. No matter what plan I put in place, they have to execute it, not me. I can't execute a plan. So the players deserve all the credit. I thought first half we were great and solid, and went 1-0 up, and really the game hinged for me on the last 10 minutes of the first half, when suddenly they got a little bit of joy, and they're entitled to. We're away from home, they're going to get their 15-20 minutes of pressure on us, and they did. But we defended, the back four defended really well, and it was highlighted with 2 great headers at the back post from Lorden, when they were really piling the pressure on. And we go in at half-time 1-0. We come out to start the second half, and I genuinely believe for the first 30 minutes of the second half, I don't think they really got into our penalty box. We scored three goals, 2 quick goals, and the game was over. So it was a really good performance. And again, what I love about the team is they didn't want to concede. They did not want to concede. So 4-0 up, you can relax a little bit if you want to, but they certainly didn't.
It was a great performance, and the travelling fans did enjoy that one.
Good, I'm glad.
Squad-wise, we saw plenty of new faces getting a run out on Tuesday. Did everybody come through without any knocks, scrapes, or...?
As far as I'm aware, yeah. As far as I'm aware, we're fine. There was 1 or 2 lads who are sort of trialists trying to get into the side, and what I do is I register them and try and have a good look at them in a game. You can watch them all you want in training. You need to see them in a competitive situation. So we managed to get that, and they all did really, really well. So I was really pleased with all of them. I think it allows them to showcase to me and the other coaches what they can do. So all very, very good. So it's great to be in the cups to give us a chance. Of course, I wouldn't do that in a league game. I wouldn't. I had five of my first team starters sat in the stands, not even involved, and then I had the rest on the bench, and only two from the previous Saturday started. So it was a really, really good workout, and yeah, everyone's come through clean bit of health.
There will, of course, be some disappointment in seeing Tommy Wood move into the National League South with Hornchurch, just as he was hitting some form. Will you be working with what you've got, or actively looking for a replacement?
Well, my style of management is I develop and improve what I've got. I'll always take a player and improve him as best I can, improve a team as best I can. The downside to my style of management and coaching at this level is what happens is you improve a player, other people then want him, and of course they're not under contract, so they can leave. And unfortunately Tommy took the decision to leave. I don't think it was the right one for him. I think he'd have had a far more choice in the summer had he stayed with us and continued his run of form and scored more goals. But you know, you've got to back them, and that's what we want to do. I want players to want to come here because I want them to work with myself and my coaches, because they see it as a way of progressing up the ladder, hopefully with us. But if it's not with us, they'll come to us because they think, well, I want to play step 2 or step 1. The best way of doing that is going to Chesham. We're not going to compete massively on wages, but we can compete in the way we coach, the way we work and develop these players. So yes, in answer to your question, I will continue to develop what I've got, which I have been doing all the way along. And
we've certainly noticed some big differences.
I'm glad you have. But ultimately, if a striker becomes available who wants to work with me and I want to work with him and we can afford it, then yes, I will bring another player in. We're very light up front. We've only got the 2 out-and-out strikers now. Both young lads, which the whole squad is. We had an old v young the other day, and Jack Munn shouted everyone over 28 to me, and only 2 players, Rob Hall and himself, were in that group. And then he said 26, and still only him and Hawley were in that group. So that's how young we are. We've got a very, very young squad, and we're developing them as quick as we can and push them into a team. Yes, I'm always looking to improve. You know, I'm looking to improve players, get more players in if we can to help the improvement. But as it is now, no, we're not going to rush. We'll work with what we've got.
And finally, Mel, Whitehawk on Saturday. They're under new management now and showing some improvement, following us up the form table. A tough match with both sides wanting to maintain momentum.
I think every game's tough. You know, it's a tough game. It's an important game because it's the next one. And I know it's a cliche and people say, you know, take each game as it comes, but it's actually exactly right. If I start thinking about I want 6 points from the next 2 games or 8 points from the next 5 games, whatever it is, you take your focus off the next game. All that matters is the next game. So it's the most important game we've got because it's the next one. So I think they'll feel the same. But if we win, we're not safe. If we lose, we're not relegated. And the same for them. So yes, it's a big game, it's an important game, but then after Saturday, win, lose or draw, the following Saturday will become the most important game. So that's how I tend to take things, and that way it stops me panicking, it stops me stressing, and that in the end doesn't pass on to the players. It's important the players see me as calm, and I say to them virtually before every game, when you score a goal, you haven't won the game, don't ever celebrate. When you concede a goal, you haven't lost the game, don't throw tantrums, don't get too down. You've got to maintain a balanced, constructive look. There are people leading marathons after 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles who don't finish in the top 100. It's not about where you are halfway through the season, start of the season, 3/4, about where you are when the last ball's kicked, and the final whistle goes on the last game of the season. So that's where we are with it. Massive game, really important game, because it's the next one.
We'll look forward to it. Thanks for your time, Mel.
You're welcome. Thank you. Cheers.